Hello everyone, welcome to the Digimon Evening News for February 2025, and I am happy to report that I actually have some interesting things to bring you this month, finally, for the first time in what feels like forever. Today's top stories that we'll be going over is Digimon Con has brought out its itinerary, so we'll be diving deeper into that. The card game will be getting our special booster version 2.5 here in the global releases. We finally have gotten an announcement of a new Digimon Story game. Time Stranger is coming. More information on that coming soon. There's additional merchandise coming, including a Kaiser Greymon, and more information about the Kojiwada tribute concert, which happened in Japan. Liberator continues to move on into issue 11, as well as now we got additional chapters from the novel, which does not appear like it is the end. It appears that Digimon Liberator is still continuing. And finally, the Digimon Fan Comic Contest winners have continued. All of them onto Volume 3, and one of them has even changed. More information on all of that can be found now. Now let's dive into our top story, Digimon Con. Digimon Con 2025 is happening on March 20th at noon in Japan, or 11 p.m. Eastern Time on the 19th, 8 p.m. Pacific Time. Bandai has released the topics that will be covered, and we will cover them as we go into each category. The only part that doesn't fall under one of these many categories that we'll discuss today is that there will be a live concert, as there typically has been each year. So we will get something like that, and I'm sure we'll get many other things at Digimon Con that they haven't exactly announced just in these topics. So now let's move on into the card game. The only thing we are getting right now is in the global, we are getting a special booster version 2.5 to give us BT 19 and 20 at the end of this month. And this is, as I've stated in the previous one, this will be our last release that I will have to worry about global and Japan. Everything is coming together. Though, at Digimon Con, they have talked about that there will be new cards that are coming and merch and all that stuff, as always. But there's also a new project that is coming. And since we already have a story, we already have a comic, we already have cards coming, could this be the client we've all been waiting for to finally have an official online client that we could all get together and play? That seems too much to hope for, but just maybe. It'll finally be here. Moving on to VPets, there's nothing right now to discuss, but Digimon Con will be discussing the Digimon and Godzilla crossover that they first teased back in November of 24, where they first showed off this Black War Greymon Godzilla cross that we saw, and more information will likely be coming at Digimon about that. Moving over into the anime, there is nothing specifically to talk about there, except that at Digimon Con they will be doing the Digimon Adventure Beyond. Again, this is not a full-on anime, this is kind of a music video. If you saw the Odaiba Day video that they put out for Digimon Adventure, this will be a little bit more like that, except I don't think it'll be quite as much of a montage. It'll actually more be trying to tell an actual story, but it'll likely be, a roughly 5-minute video or so. And at least so far from Digimon Con, there's no sign of anything else being released. But hopefully they can surprise us, but I think they would give us some indication that more would be coming there. And probably the biggest news we've gotten in Digimon in almost a year, Digimon Story Time Stranger trailer was released February 12th, and has been confirmed that it'll be releasing on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. Though likely many of us can assume that it will be released on Switch as well. If you want a full dive into everything we know about the Digimon Story Time Stranger, I have an entire video right here that will dive into everything, reacting to the trailer and any information that came out since then. So, also since then, Terramon Assistant, if you guys even remember that those were videos that came out, gave us another 30-second view of this large cylindrical room, which looks a lot like the ending room of Cyber Sleuth with a reskin, and a mysterious Digi-Egg floating in the middle. Could this be where we meet our partners? Time will tell. And obviously, this is the big thing that they've been talking about, so they will tell us more about it at Digimon Con. It does not claim that it will give us a release date there, and previously for Survive, we didn't get a release date at Digimon Con either, so I'm not entirely convinced that we will get one. But it's very exciting. It's been a long time since we had a solid Digimon story game, and I know Digimon Survive wasn't that long ago per se, but I know it wasn't quite what a lot of people were looking for, so I think this is one that a lot of the community will get behind. What are you most looking forward to about Digimon Story Time Stranger? And looking over into merchandise, there is the Kojiwada Tribute Live CD. Now you may have heard about this, happened in January. It was concerts that happened featuring a lot of Kojiwada's music, who sadly passed away. And this is the man who was behind the original Butterfly theme that was for the original Digimon Adventure. So, these are CDs that we'll be releasing. Now, I've seen nothing that confirms if these will actually be available to us outside of Japan, but they are being created. And a new figure is being added to the standard Amplified series, this Kaiser Greymon. And It looks like a pretty dang good model, I have to admit. And these will run you roughly $40 if you're looking for them, which is not cheap, but it's certainly not the priciest thing you'll find on Premium Bandai. And there are rumors that this can have something special to it, so maybe it will be able to mix with the Magnagurumon later to become Susanobon. Whew, that would be amazing, but that would be so hard to not make look completely janky, so they could pull that off. That would be absolutely incredible to me. And at Digimon Con, they will tell us that they're giving us more information about the Digimon Adventure 02 merchandise because that's entering into its 25th anniversary. So, yay, we get more Digimon Adventure 02 stuff. I know some of you enjoy that season, so maybe you'll like that. And it'll give us something other than Adventure, which is all the merch we ever get. And surely they will have plenty more merchandise to show off at Digimon Con. They always do. And if you want to keep in touch with all the announcement about merchandise, news, or anything else, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any Digimon news as it comes out. Moving on into the main story that we're still getting now is Digimon Liberator. Issue 10 is fully out, and issue 11 started on February 13th, and they flow very much into each other as they're just a card battle. They are looking like the climactic card battle, and we're even like starting to cheat now and fight what seems like an apocalyptic threat, so is it towards the end? It could be. We'll have to wait and see. Where Tip 19 talked about special raid battles, allowing multiple players to fight against bosses. This seems like actually a very cool type of strategy that you could do. Like, you could do 1v2 kind of battles in the card game just for us in general. They could actually add rules to fighting more than one other player. That could be interesting, because I know many other card games have done similar things. And Tip 20 was just talking about the card battle between Vi and the NPC, which clearly says that Vi should have won, but he cheated. But we're all cheating now. At least the NPC is, and I'm guessing Shoto's going to have to win. But we'll have to wait and see. And the Digimon Liberator novel, after its 3-month hiatus, has also returned. Debug Chapters 7 and 8 are here. 7.1 I found absolutely forgettable, but 7.2 was fairly interesting, because it actually talks about the relationship between Muchomon and Terramon as Shoto's two partners, which could be a very deep rivalry, but it's not necessarily how they see each other. And Chapter 8 has a very interesting concept potentially, with Yuki finding something very unusual and possibly talking with a reference to Digimon Chronicle. I have to actually go through and read that myself to see if that is, but I doubt we'll ever hear anything more of this, like we haven't heard of anything more about just about anything that's happened in the novel, so I don't really think it'll actually go there. But the main thing to notice is that Digimon Liberator, it's not mentioned anywhere in the Digimon Con itinerary, so I'm not sure what that means, if it means we're just near the end of it, or if it just means it's just going to continue on, there's nothing new to talk about it. That's interesting. Though, it does have a section for comics, so maybe it's just going to be there. Speaking of Digimon Contest, fan comic contest winners are also back. We have Knuckles, the Mini Royal Knights, Paradox, and Recollection continue on as they have been. Paradox still continues to by far be my personal favorite, but looking at some polls, apparently people are really liking Recollection too, so these are great stories. For the most part, I'm pretty happy with them. I think a lot of them have been, honestly, almost above what some of the official things we've been getting from Digimon are. But there's also one more that I didn't mention there, the Crossroads Witch, which has ended, and now has been replaced with Wall Slum's Nightmare, which is actually an epilogue to Digimon Seekers instead of this other thing that was mostly a prequel to it. So now we're actually moving on in the story, and I am far more interested in it. And Lucamon is just absolutely adorable. And as I said, Digimon Con, does that mean something to do with Liberator continuing? Does it have to do with these comics that we were just talking about? Or something even new? Other runner-ups coming in from the Digimon comics because they've been so well received? We don't know. But if they give us anything as good as some of these comics have been, I will be quite happy. And there you have it. There is the news for the Digimon of February 2025. Finally, some things to be excited about. Things coming out, content to look into, and hopefully you've been enjoying it just as much as I have. Thank you all for watching the Digimon Even Knows. I am Rordrik. Thank you for watching. I hope you remember to stay awesome, and until the next one, take care. Bye-bye.